And welcome back. Time stands still for no man, particularly for Donald Trump, 45th President of the United States. 1 week ago, President Trump held a rally, again challenging the legitimacy of the past national election results, and he encouraged those in attendance to peacefully proceed to the Capitol to express their support for his cause. However, some in the crowd took the opportunity to enact violence and attack the Capitol Police and storm the Capitol building itself. Now, with 1 week left in his term, the House of Representatives has voted again for Mr. Trump's removal. Susan, with so little time left before the swearing in of a new president, isn't it better just to move on? And why is it necessary to have a vote for impeachment?
I think considering how serious the issue is, that a stance had to be made. And I kind of laughed when you said that he said peacefully go to the Capitol. I watched again his whole speech last night. There was nothing in there about peace. He said we need to be strong. We need to do this. I mean, when a group has a noose outside and they talk right on the video that you hear about killing people like Pence because he's a traitor to Trump. I mean, as more and more of these interviews are coming out with people who are arrested, they said they were doing what Donald Trump told them to do. And yesterday during the hearing, Congressman Newhouse, a Republican, one of 10 that voted for it, said we should have spoken up earlier about his behavior. And the leader of the Republicans, McCarthy, said also, Trump held responsibility. And Congresswoman Cheney said the same thing. This is unacceptable. And so I commend the Democrat. But it's interesting, Casey, Congressman Harris on the East Coast didn't even show up yesterday, nor did he vote by absentee, which he's allowed to do. Maybe he's afraid of Heather Mazur running against him next time.
Susan,
Probably not.
Are you saying, Susan, that President Trump did not say that they should peacefully and—
No, not that day he didn't. He did not. And he sat in the White House for several hours being begged by people around him to say something. According to reporting in a couple of newspapers, he was almost gleeful. He had music going on and he couldn't understand why the people around him were upset that this was going on.
Maybe
the man from the moment he
of the speech then on CNN, because he did say peacefully and patriotically.
No, he said that yesterday, not the day of the event.
Yes, he did.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask Sam a question, if I might.
Sure.
Sam.
Yes.
Despite what we've just heard in the last 3 minutes, there is more and more information being learned about the violent offenders that had been planning the seizure of the Capitol long before the rally, and that there was a total failure of communication on the part of the FBI, the Capitol Police, and the Metropolitan Police to taking this threat seriously and responding to the crisis beforehand. So why was there a rush to judgment and impeach?
It's a rush to judgment for exactly what Susan said. Trump incited a riot. That's what he was convicted of. But the real
No, he hasn't been convicted. Let's be clear.
The real big picture is that leadership within the Republican Party, the financiers of the Republican Party, media, television, business, no one wants Trump to return. And if it takes an impeachment to prevent him from holding public office again, I think that is more than justified.
Well, let's be clear. What you're proposing is an impeachment after he's left office, the legality and the consequences of which are really unprecedented. I'm not sure you're going to get the result that you think you did. I think what you're really doing is turning Trump into a martyr on behalf of the people who supported him so strongly.
And that's exactly what Donald Trump wants Americans to believe, Mark. That's what he's saying. And you keep communicating.
No, but I'm just, the consequences of what? The impeachment is simply showboating. There'll be no vote in the Senate because the Senate's not coming back until right before the inauguration. So This is
Trials have been held after they left office before, and it was perfectly legitimate. So don't say, Mitch McConnell said it would be a way to get
Glad you
rid
have
of
your
Trump.
degree
He has
in
said that.
constitutional law, because I don't think it is determined whether or not it was legitimate or not in the one instance in which it occurred. And we're going to have to wrap this up. You can see the passion that is still dividing our country, and that is probably the greatest negative that comes out of this event, is that there is no healing between our nation, and we are still a very divided country. Stay tuned for parting shots.